Fun fact, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has my same exact birthday, and we're the exact same age. It's pretty crazy. We're 29, and she has the exact same birthday as me. I saw it. I was like, ooh, that's spooky. Anyway, she's 29 years old. She's now a House member in New York City. She's crushing it. Whether you love her or hate her, agree with her ideology or not, personally, I don't agree with it, but I don't hate on her because what she's doing is truly incredible. She's now one of the most popular politicians on social media, in some cases even more popular than President Trump. She's getting 27, 30,000 retweets, 40,000 retweets. That's a lot. I mean, she's very, very popular, very, very powerful. Whether you love her or hate her, it's just true. She's absolutely crushing it. And what really bothers me, about Trump supporters and conservatives and people who claim to hate her is they're actually doing what liberal media did to President Trump. They're nonstop promoting her. They're nonstop pushing her name out there, and they're actually feeding the beast that they think they're stopping. I've said this for 2 years about the mainstream media. If you hate Trump so much, stop talking about him. But they don't really hate Trump. That's what you don't understand. Behind closed doors, they know the drill. If they stop talking about Trump, they lose money. They want money. They want to sell pills. They want to sell commercials. They'll sell to anybody. You got the money, they'll take it. They don't really care. They don't hate Trump. They can't live without Trump. It's a love-hate relationship. So any press is good press. I've seen Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's name 100 times this week, 100 times. And I'll tell you, every single time I've seen her name, it was from conservatives. I log into Instagram. All the conservatives I follow are talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I log into Twitter. Some of the jokes are funny. Some of them are not. The funniest one, I have to say, comes from Jack Poseic. He said Neiman Marxist instead of Neiman Marcus, is it? He said Neiman Marxist, like with all her fashion stuff. That was the best one. So that was actually funny. But any press is good press. That's just how things work. Liberal media does it to Trump. It's half the reason that Trump won. They can't shut up about him. He's the show. He's the big show, and he actually makes more sense than them, so it's a win. When it comes to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's feeding off your hate. If you love her, talk about her. If you don't like her, if you truly do dislike her, stop talking about her because you're making her ridiculously popular and powerful. And when you make fun of her, even if it's a funny joke, most of them I think are overrated. That's my personal thought. It's not hurting her. It's not convincing any of these young kids that believe in her theories and believe in her words. They don't look at your hate and your negativity and your mean post talking about her fashion sense. They're not like, oh, now I don't like her. Now I agree with conservatives. No, they look at you and say, you're every reason that I don't like conservatives. You're the reason I'm liberal because I don't want to be like that. You're boosting and supporting Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez if you know it or not. Anthony Michael said, is this guy a pothead? I mean, that's up for you to decide, but if what I'm saying makes you think marijuana, that's a sad statement for the world. Anyway, unless it's a compliment. Either way, I'll give you an example. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The big scoop this week in the media was that she can't afford a house in Washington, D.C. So she's going to move to Washington, D.C., but she can't afford rent. Conservatives and Republicans and people who don't like her decided it was a good idea to just say, she can't afford rent, or how come she can't afford rent with all these clothes, or man, LOL. It's such a bad strategy. I'm just thinking from like bird's eye view. Nobody that's a liberal or nobody that's a young liberal minded person is going to look at that and say, oh, they're making fun of the fact that she has no money. Oh, wow, that really makes me like Republicans more. Young people don't like Republicans because they see the greediness of the corporations. They see how the world is not doing things it should be. We're polluting, we're destroying the oceans. Young people see that and they say, I don't like what greedy capitalists are doing. That's how they feel. So when you say, oh, she can't afford a house, you're justifying everything these young liberal kids don't like about Republicans, and you're running them further to the left, and you're giving free promotion to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So everything about conservatives' response to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, it's exactly identical to how liberals treat Trump and why Trump's president and why Trump's winning. It's the exact same psychology. But anomaly, we hate Alexandria Cortez. Expose her. She's a communist. Anomaly, we hate Trump. Expose him. He's a fascist and a Nazi. But anomaly, we don't like her. We're going to yell about it. I get it. You don't like Trump. You don't like Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not saying that you have to, but if you want her to win, then keep acting how you're acting. If you want Trump to keep winning, feel free. Everyone should act exactly how they're acting. But if you want them to be defeated or lose or not gain popularity, you need to stop talking about them. You need to expose them in a way that actually makes sense to people, in a way that somebody liberal would watch it and be like, you know what? I never thought of that before. You know, not just yelling the same 5 talking points and making fun of the fact she can't buy a house. Now you look like a fool. Now you're running people to the left. It's hard for me to just sit here and watch people make the same mistakes, and I understand why it's a football game. Left, right, left, George Bush, Obama. It just keeps going back and forth because people don't get root level stuff. I don't care if you're a conservative or a liberal. If you can't, have the qualities that you're looking to fight in other people, I don't like that they're stubborn. I don't like that they're this. I'm not talking about policies, communist to capitalist. I'm talking about root level emotions like envy, fear, negativity, hatred, paranoia, stubbornness, lack of self-accountability. These are the things I see on both sides. Obviously, I complain about the liberal agenda the most because I think what they're doing with mass media is horrible. But root level stuff, I see the same problems on the Republican and conservative side. And it just reminds me of why I always say, change yourself to change the world. Because if you can't even fix those problems in yourself and you expect politicians to, it's just going to be on a hamster wheel of absolute madness. So overall, that's pretty much it. I could talk about it all the time, but Ocasio-Cortez, whether you want to admit it or not, people probably won't listen to me and will keep posting memes and stuff, which is fine. I'm not the all be all end all. You're free to do as you want, but it's only going to continuously help her. And the fact that she's 29 years old and she already has one of the most powerful Twitters on the planet and it's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you can thank her haters for that growth. And the fact that she's probably convincing thousands of kids, young kids, to go even further left than a Hillary Clinton. She's very far left. I disagree with her ideology totally, but to say that conservatives aren't helping her would be a lie. The third story of the day, I know